It's time now for Options Insight, and joining us now from the CBOE in Chicago is Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, we're looking at the indexes, and they're kind of struggling for direction. Right now, all four indexes, including the Russell, are lower, but talk to us about the different drivers that are moving stocks back and forth. There's a lot of headlines coming out on trade.
Yeah, and that's what it is this week for sure. You know, earnings start next week in earnest with JP Morgan and the big banks. But this week it's all about trade. And, you know, we saw that intraday move earlier today to the upside when there were some comments from Larry Kudlow saying talks are progressing well, this, that, and the other. I think if you're going to trade, you know, minute by minute, hour by hour in this market, you almost have to let those headlines just kind of rub off and not listen to them and just go back to some of the fundamental and technicals.
Fundamentals and technicals, what about the latest headlines, for example, around geopolitical risk when it comes to Iran, to Turkey? Is that something that you have to let slide to look through in these sorts of trading environments?
I think you do, because the market is on edge when it comes to those sorts of headlines. So you see these kind of snap reactions, much like we saw on the upside today, although it was definitely muted. So I think you need to settle back and not just reach for a move in the market, because we're going to get these gyrations over the next few days and probably the next few weeks.
Yeah, you're seeing that reflected in the choppy trade and the lower than average volumes as well. Scott, we heard from Delta, and it pre-announced last week the stock had declined. Your trade is on Delta today.
It is, and I'm actually pretty bullish going into earnings on Thursday. They did pre-announce a little bit lower. You know what? They kind of got the demons out. They let the public know what was going on. Stock really got hit. Some of the analysts actually downgraded the stock. However, they're downgraded the stock to about 10% higher than where it is right now. So I'm looking to buy the next week, October 18th, 54.57 call spread for about $1. I'm doing that. I like the upside. The expected move that the option market is pricing in is somewhere about $3. Would take it there to the upside. Delta has some really good metrics out there, year-over-year traffic. The one big headwind for them right now could be the return of the 737 MAX for their competitors. However, I think that is going to happen much later rather than sooner.
Scott Bauer, always great to get your perspective. We thank you from Prosper Trading Academy at the CBOE.